The city of New York has always been a landscape defined by its ability to capture the global imagination, a metropolis where the extraordinary becomes the baseline of daily life and where the intersection of culture, ambition, and celebrity creates an undeniable pulsating energy. On any given afternoon, the gridlocked streets of Manhattan tell 1,000 silent stories of power and influence, but on this particular Friday, the atmosphere across the boroughs shifted into something entirely unprecedented, marked by an electric tension that seemed to hum through the humid air. For months, rumors had circulated through the quiet corridors of the entertainment industry, whispered by insiders, and parsed by millions of dedicated observers worldwide who analyze every cryptic clue and sudden scheduling shift. Yet no amount of digital speculation could truly prepare the public for the sheer scale of the phenomenon that began unfolding as the sun dipped below the towering skyline of Midtown. The world of modern pop culture has long been anchored by figures who transcend their initial mediums. Individuals whose personal milestones cease to be private affairs and instead morph into modern mythology that commands the attention of the global collective. When two such monumental orbits finally align, the resulting gravity pulls in not just the immediate inner circle of close confidants, but the entirety of the cultural elite, creating a spectacle that blurs the line between a personal celebration of devotion and a historic summit of fame. As luxury vehicles began forming endless polished caravans through the heart of the city, and private aviation terminals experienced an unprecedented influx of high-profile arrivals, it became abundantly clear that something monumental was taking place behind closed doors. To truly understand the gravity of the unfolding evening, one must appreciate how deeply these figures have woven themselves into the fabric of contemporary society, transforming their individual successes into shared cultural touchstones that resonate across generations. Before we immerse ourselves fully into the breathtaking scale of this historic gathering, if you want to stay connected with every major development, exclusive update, and deep dive into the moments that define our cultural landscape, please take a brief moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss a single chapter of these incredible stories. The convergence of Hollywood heavyweights, elite athletes, and international icons in Manhattan was not merely a random gathering, but the culmination of a narrative that has captivated the public consciousness for over a year, transforming the concept of a modern romance into a shared global experience. As twilight began to paint the iconic architecture of Manhattan in shades of amber and violet, the focus of the entire entertainment apparatus narrowed significantly onto a singular, legendary destination that has hosted some of the greatest performances in human history. Madison Square Garden, a venue traditionally reserved for the triumphs of athletic titans and the soaring anthems of musical legends, found itself transformed into the epicenter of a completely different kind of spectacular. The surrounding streets, typically filled with the chaotic rush of commuters and sports fans, were systematically cleared to accommodate an influx of security personnel and pristine black sports utility vehicles that seemed to stretch out in infinite lines. Passers-by and dedicated fans began to gather behind barricades, their eyes fixed on the heavily guarded entrances, hoping to catch even a fleeting glimpse of the glamour unfolding just beyond the velvet ropes. The sheer logistical magnitude of the event was staggering, requiring weeks of clandestine coordination, non-disclosure agreements, and airtight security protocols to ensure that the sanctuary of the venue remained intact despite the overwhelming pressure of global curiosity. From the high-altitude arrivals at regional heliports to the discreet drop-offs at side entrances, every single movement was calibrated to perfection, creating an aura of grand mystery that only heightened the growing frenzy online. Social media platforms were already beginning to buckle under the weight of real-time observations as users worldwide started piecing together the disparate clues dropped by their favorite personalities, realizing that an assembly of this magnitude was completely unprecedented in the modern era of celebrity culture. It was an atmosphere thick with anticipation, where every flashing camera lens and every tinted window roll-down felt like a revelation, teasing a narrative of grandeur that seemed almost too vast to comprehend. The guest list, which quickly became the subject of intense debate and widespread fascination, appeared to transcend the traditional boundaries of standard industry circles, blending disparate worlds in a manner that many commentators later described as utterly surreal. It was not just a gathering of the bride's lifelong artistic collaborators or the groom's fiercely loyal sports compatriots, but a sprawling, eclectic tapestry of global influence that spanned actors, directors, investors, and literary figures. As the early arrivals began to make their way into the meticulously decorated interior of the iconic arena, the sheer variety of the attendees sparked a wave of digital commentary, with fans and critics alike marveling at the sheer pulling power required to assemble such a diverse crowd. The contrast between the rugged, high-octane world of professional sports and the ethereal, highly stylized realm of global pop music was fully visible in the guest profile, creating a fascinating dynamic that promised an unforgettable evening. The anticipation only deepened as the initial waves of media reports and eyewitness accounts filtered out into the public domain, suggesting that this multi-day celebration was designed to be a definitive statement of love, success, and cultural dominance. The world watched in absolute fascination as the pieces of this elaborate puzzle began to fall into place, setting the stage for a deeper look into the specific details, the surprising encounters, and the mounting tension that would define the main chapters of this extraordinary gathering. As the heavy glass doors of Madison Square Garden sealed out the roaring crowds of Manhattan, the true scale of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's massive wedding celebration began to crystallize, revealing a star-studded assembly that felt less like a traditional ceremony and more like a historic cultural summit. Rumors of a massive blowout had circulated for weeks, but nothing prepared the public for the reality of 1,000 guests descending upon the iconic venue on Friday evening. The massive arena, which had historically witnessed legendary athletic triumphs and iconic musical performances, was completely reimagined into a breathtaking sanctuary of romance, decorated with thousands of cascading roses that filled the cavernous space with a delicate fragrance. The guest list itself immediately became the primary subject of intense fascination and online debate, as the initial waves of arrivals featured a highly unusual mix of Hollywood royalty, sports champions, and sudden digital icons. Swift's closest inner circle arrived early and in spectacular fashion, with actress Selena Gomez and supermodel Gigi Hadid leading the contingent of longtime friends who have stood by the pop superstar through every era of her monumental career. Simultaneously, the gridiron was well represented as the majority of Kelce's teammates from the Kansas City Chiefs made their presence known, trading their heavy football pads and red jerseys for tailored tuxedos and sharp designer suits to support their beloved tight end. However, as the evening progressed, the arrival of random individuals from the A, B, and C lists turned the gathering into a surreal spectacle, prompting millions of social media users to remark that the atmosphere felt more like a high-stakes corporate networking gala or the Met Gala than an intimate celebration of everlasting love. The digital universe quickly erupted into a frenzy of commentary, with critics and dedicated fans alike analyzing the bizarre combinations of attendees who were spotted making their way toward Midtown Manhattan via every imaginable mode of luxury transportation. Among the most surprising additions to this massive guest roster was the legendary British actor Hugh Grant, 65, who arrived alongside his wife Anna Elizabeth Eberstein, bringing an unexpected touch of classic cinematic charm to the ultra-modern American pop culture event. Screenwriter Jenny Han, 45, known for creating beloved romantic dramas, was also spotted among the crowd, sparking widespread speculation about how these diverse worlds had managed to intertwine behind the scenes. The mystery deepened significantly when Shark Tank investor Barbara Corcoran, 77, posted a thinly veiled video on her official Instagram account showing herself getting fully glammed up in a white luxury robe while holding a glass of wine. In the video, the sharp-tongued entrepreneur explicitly stated that she was preparing for a very special wedding, calling the situation an incredible love story and describing the groom as an absolute hunk, which left no doubt in the minds of fans as to where she was heading. The online reaction to these revelations was swift, ruthless, and highly entertaining, as commentators across platforms like X began mocking the incredibly random selection of elite guests. One user, Viral, remarked that the singer had literally invited everyone and their mother, while another noted that the singing superstar appeared to have extended invitations to absolutely anybody and everybody who had ever crossed her path. A third observer went so far as to describe the resulting combination of names as entirely unhinged, pointing out the absolute absurdity of seeing Modern Family actor Eric Stonestreet, 54, walking the same carpet as teenage music sensation Benson Boone. The contrast between these figures created a bizarre tension outside the venue, with fans expressing a mixture of intense jealousy and pure amusement at the sheer audacity of the event's scale. Academy Award nominee Ethan Hawke, 55, and his wife Ryan Hawke arrived looking sleek in matching navy blue ensembles, while former White House Communications Director George Stephanopoulos, 65, added an element of serious media royalty to the eclectic mix. Delighted fans pointed out that the bride and groom had clearly adopted a strict go big or go home mentality for their special day, choosing to transform their nuptials into a historic pop culture moment where the guest list itself functioned as a main character. The celebrity attendees seemed fully aware of the historic nature of the evening, with many actively teasing their high-profile looks on social media before passing through the heavy security perimeters. Jessica Chastain, 49, made it known to her millions of followers that she would be attending the festivities by sharing a striking preview of her ensemble, posing in an elegant off-the-shoulder forest green crushed velvet robe that perfectly complemented her fresh jaw-grazing haircut. The sheer volume of glamorous posts generated so much online traffic that a popular Mexican fan account openly compared the celebrity updates to the annual coverage of the Academy Awards or the Met Gala, laughing at how stars were treating the wedding like a major international red carpet. Meanwhile, comedic actress Nikki Glaser took a more direct approach to the waiting media presence, winding down the heavily blacked-out window of her luxury SUV just as she approached the venue to ensure that the swarming paparazzi captured her perfectly styled arrival. Outside Madison Square Garden, the logistical reality of the event created an unforgettable visual as endless lines of polished black SUVs stretched down the Manhattan streets, creating a fortress of wealth and influence in the heart of the city. A wedding invitation from Swift and Kelce was undeniably the hottest ticket in town, prompting Hollywood heavyweights to arrive in the city using helicopters, private jets, luxury town cars, and even standard rideshare vehicles. Early on Friday morning, music mogul Jay-Z and his 14-year-old daughter, Blue Ivy, were spotted exiting a helicopter terminal in Midtown alongside legendary film director Steven Spielberg, illustrating the immense cultural gravity of the gathering. At the exact same time, actor Bradley Cooper was spotted navigating the city streets already dressed in his formal tuxedo, accompanied by his girlfriend Gigi Hadid, who had already showcased her intricate makeup routine to fans online. The arrivals grew increasingly dazzling as international fashion icon Karlie Kloss stepped out in a shimmering gold dress alongside her husband Josh Kushner, while actress Zoe Kravitz stunned onlookers in a delicate gold lace mini dress paired with black strappy heels. Pop singer Camila Cabello stole the spotlight early in a dramatic red lace gown, while Fergie brought a classic pop energy to the arena by arriving in a heavily shimmering gold outfit that caught the flashing lights of the press. The world of sports and literature merged seamlessly when United States women's national soccer legend Abby Wambach arrived at the arena holding hands tightly with her wife, the acclaimed author Glennon Doyle. As the night deepened, additional glimpses of global superstars solidified the event's status as a generational landmark, with glimpses of Dua Lipa, Zendaya, Sabrina Carpenter, Ed Sheeran, and Graham Norton recorded by onlookers. Even the extended weekend timeline became clear when it was revealed that Swift's close friend Lena Dunham had been spotted near Madison Square Garden as early as Thursday, indicating that this massive celebration was designed as a multi-day experience that would redefine the boundaries of modern celebrity gatherings. Within the secure, heavily guarded walls of Madison Square Garden, the true emotional heart of this massive gathering finally took center stage, transcending the superficial online chatter and the intense media frenzy that had characterized the outdoor arrivals. What began as a seemingly chaotic assembly of global icons resolved into a profoundly organized celebration of a modern love story that has fundamentally reshaped the landscape of contemporary entertainment and professional sports. To understand why this evening carried such historic weight, one must look closely at the remarkable journeys of the two central figures, both 36 years old, who have achieved the absolute pinnacle of success within their respective fields before finding their paths intertwined. Taylor Swift, an artist whose musical eras have defined the emotional soundtrack for a global generation, had spent nearly 2 decades navigating the intense pressures of public scrutiny, transforming her personal heartbreaks and triumphs into critical masterpieces. Travis Kelce, a fiercely determined and charismatic athlete, had similarly cemented his legacy as one of the greatest tight ends in the history of the National Football League, capturing multiple Super Bowl championships while earning the deep respect of his peers. The convergence of these two powerhouse personalities created a unique cultural symbiosis, bridging the traditionally separate worlds of massive stadium concerts and high-stakes sports spectacles in a manner that had never been seen before. The scale of the wedding celebration was not merely an exercise in celebrity indulgence, but a direct reflection of the massive network of support, friendship, and professional collaboration that both individuals had built throughout their illustrious careers. As the evening transitioned into a beautiful ceremony, the massive arena fell into a respectful silence, allowing the couple to exchange vows that emphasized mutual respect, shared ambition, and a commitment to protecting their sanctuary amid the chaos of global fame. The design of the main room paid subtle homage to the key milestones of their relationship, featuring an abundance of custom floral arrangements that directly referenced the extravagant rose garden proposal that had taken the internet by storm during their engagement announcement the previous summer. Every single detail of the evening, from the carefully curated musical selections to the heartfelt speeches delivered by lifelong friends, reinforced the idea that this gathering was an authentic validation of their enduring bond. Inside the reception, the star-studded guest list that had initially been mocked online as random and unhinged began to make perfect sense within the broader context of the couple's shared life experiences. Longtime artistic collaborators like Jack Antonoff and close personal friends like actress Anya Taylor-Joy and Suki Waterhouse mingled freely with members of the Kansas City Chiefs organization, creating a vibrant atmosphere where diverse industries found a rare common ground. The presence of cultural giants such as Steven Spielberg and Jay-Z underscored the absolute respect that the couple commands within the highest echelons of modern society, transforming the arena into a historic sanctuary of influence and creative energy. Guests were treated to emotional tributes that detailed the couple's journey, from their initial highly publicized meetings at football stadiums to their quiet moments spent away from the harsh glare of paparazzi lenses. The emotional weight of the event resonated deeply with the attendees, many of whom had witnessed the intense logistical and personal challenges the couple had overcome to maintain their relationship under the watchful eye of the global public. As the celebration extended long into the early hours of the morning, it became clear that this multi-day event would be remembered as a definitive cultural landmark, a moment when the worlds of art, athletic excellence, and global celebrity merged seamlessly to honor a genuine partnership. The significance of the wedding stretched far beyond the confines of Manhattan, serving as a powerful testament to the enduring appeal of traditional romance in an increasingly fractured digital age. For the millions of fans who followed every update from afar, the event represented the culmination of a narrative that they had actively invested in for months, a real-life fairy tale that felt both incredibly grand and deeply human. By transforming Madison Square Garden into a private sanctuary of love, Swift and Kelce demonstrated an unmatched ability to command the global spotlight while maintaining the integrity of their personal commitment. The stories of the heroes, their individual struggles, their rise to unprecedented global prominence, and the sheer magnitude of their shared celebration will undoubtedly continue to inspire commentary and admiration for years to come. As the final guests departed into the quiet Manhattan dawn and the massive black SUVs slowly dispersed from the streets surrounding the iconic arena, the city